What's up YouTube? For today's video, we make full heaviest Pokemon team for Generation 8. Now, I was going through some of the Pokedex entries of the Pokemon, and I was wondering, I wonder what the heaviest Pokemon is for Generation 8. Now, 3 years ago, I did the heaviest Pokemon team, so I did them for all the Pokemon that are currently from Gen 1 to Gen 7. So if you want to check that one out, that link is in the description of the video. It's quite an old one because I guess it's 3 years old now, but a good watch if you want to check it out after this. Alright, now in the descriptions of the Pokedex or the Pokedex entry, I noticed the G-Max Pokemon have just got question marks next to them, so they don't actually have any weights listed for them, which is really curious. Will we get that information in the future or will we not? I'm not sure. There's something to think about. Now, what I did right is I put the 6 heaviest Pokemon from Gen 8, obviously just the Gen 8 Pokemon, and also put their weights on here as well. Now, I don't deal in pounds, I deal in kilograms, but someone can do a conversion if they like. Alright, so we got a Cinderace lead here. I went for a Fissure. I couldn't help it, guys. I just had to go for the Fissure on this set, and we got a Pyro Ball here. Now, this thing with max health and max attack, I just barely lived that one, which is really nicely, and the Fissure pops off first turn. I couldn't have hoped for a better first turn than that. And Fade, well, it's gonna get faded. So that's a really, really good start there, getting rid of the Cinderace. These battles are actually like really, really good. This is a very, very fun team to use as well. Now with the Copperajah, I use Heavy Slam and Heat Crash as well, because I thought I may as well make use of this like really, really heavy Pokemon. Man, look at Copperajah's tail. I just noticed how beautiful that tail is. What is that tail? So we got a Stealth Rocker is the other move too, in case we come across any like, you know, full Charizard teams. So there's not more I can do here to the Eternatus. I mean, I could go for a Fissure. Oh, the item on this is Quick Claw too, so I was thinking about it. I might as well just go for a Fissure, hope for a Quick Claw. Unfortunately, that does not happen, and I'm getting hit by the Mystical Fire. But Copperajah did a very, very good job there getting rid of the Cinderace. I mean, let's be real, I probably could have used high horsepower to take it out, but that wouldn't have been, you know, wouldn't have felt good about it, So now we're going to bring in Stonejourner. Stonejourner is a very heavy Pokemon there. I mean, it's a big old Stonehenge, right? I decided to run a Choice Scarf set, which actually worked very, very well. Max attack and max speed. Body Press, Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, and Stone Edge. So, like, you'd be surprised how well this did. Like, you'll get to see in this battle. So, we got the Eternatus swapping out here, and we got the Lapras coming in. So, obviously, they're going to go for a bubble and take me out, right? Its special defenses are absolutely trash. So, go for the Stone, as I nearly said the Stone Hedge. I mean, the Stone Edge. Man, all these stones. And it almost takes Lapras out in one shot. Now, the problem about this is I am Choice Scarf, right? I know that I can outspeed the Lapras, but I've got to go for a Choice Scarf Stone Edge here. Do I risk going for it all just to take it out, or should I swap it out and swap it back in maybe later on? That was a big thing I was thinking about here, because I can't go for any of my other 3 moves. I decided to risk it for the biscuit, and I got that Stone Edge off, and Blue is going to go down. So that was really, really getting around the Lapras there. That could have possibly been a G-Max Lapras too. So I do not like versing that thing. It's so tanky. So just waiting if maybe for a little like low-key DC. And the next Pokemon we got coming out is the Cinderace. So, okay, a special grass move will absolutely destroy me. If they got a physical one, I should be able to live it, but the question is, do they have stuff like Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch, as long as that, you know, if they hit me really hard, they may be able to, you know, out-prioritize me on the second hit. So I was thinking, I may as well go for a Stone Edge here. I don't have a lot to lose. I might even be able to get a critical hit. It should do a lot of damage if it lands. So landing the Stone Hedge lands another Stone Edge, and we got Razor Leaf in. Now, Razor Leaf does have a chance of critting, and it didn't crit, thank goodness, because that would have probably almost taken me out. So now we got another situation that do I go for the Stone Edge or do I not? And I went for the Stone Edge and it missed. And we got, oh man, instead of going for another Razor Leaf, it goes for my favorite healing move. Man, it's been a hot minute since I've seen this move. So they've got like a lot of their health back now. They're actually, I think they're thinking like, okay, I'm Choice Scarf, let's try and PP stall this big old Stone Hedge, and then I'll be left with a lot more health, and then I'll have to go swap or struggle, right? So go for another Stone Hedge, and it lives on 1 health. Oh, man, I can't escape this meme. Like, I can never escape this meme. So we got another favorite healing move of mine. Feeling that, I nearly said feeling, not healing. Feeling, I'm just going to say feeling, because I'm feeling a little bit salty after that lift. Feeling that Decidueye back to over half health. Now I've got only 3 PP remaining on the old stone edge here, the stone hedge, and we're going to take that one out, and that felt so good, man. Not only did I only miss once, I took it out when they tried to PP storm me. I guess they're betting on me having like 5 PP instead of 8, right? So at this stage of the battle, I was like, are they going to DC? But they didn't. They stayed into the battle. Now Beast is going to come out here, but the problem about bringing the Bravery out, I still have 2 more stone edges left, right? Now, if this does miss, I'm definitely going to go down. Bravery's got a lot of attack. I'm thinking something like superpowers come away. Landing that stone edge, and Beast is going to get bodied. Look how good this physical sweeping speedy stone journey is going. Like, definitely give it a try, people. I could say it's a very good defensive ball, but maybe try it as a speedy attacker. It actually worked pretty nice. So we got the Decidueye, man. How is that a Decidueye? You'd have to I don't know. You have to maybe if you swapped its wings, are they wings on the back of that? Anyway, whatever those yellow things are, they're sort of is it part of its main? Whatever they are, swap them around with the feathers on its arm. That'd actually look really good. So we got a stone mist there. There was no point me swapping because none of my Pokemon were going to lift that one. So I just let the stone journer go down. So now we're going to swap in my own Zacian here. Now this Zacian, it's interesting to say this as well. The Zacian and Zamazenta forms, right? They lose a lot of weight when you just take off their item. So if you take, it's quite funny, when you take its rusty sword away, this boy just drops in weight, man. He goes on a diet real quick. So this is a special set. I went for a Steel Beam here. Steel Beam's a really cool move. It does hit pretty powerful, but at the cost of losing half of your health. I actually did I think it was a Duraludin sweep with Magikarp to get rid of the loss on health with the Steel Beam. Anyway, so I'm going to hit by Behemoth Blade, and that is me down. I wish I was running a physical one, but you know me, guys. I like to run the special sets. That was a max speed and max special attack set. So now we're going to be going into Colossal. Now, Colossal is, out of all these Pokemon, it is the lightest one. Not that out of these 6 Pokemon, they're very heavy, but this was the lightest one, so I thought that was pretty funny, because Colossal looks like a very, very heavy Pokemon. So we got a weakness policy here, or actually managed to live that one, and this is a weakness policy steam engine set. I've used this a couple of times. I needed a decent special tackle on my team, and we're going to take the Zacian out with a flamethrower. So all we've got left now is the Eternatus, and I've got a good couple of Pokemon left, right? Now, I'm on a low amount of health. The only way here for me to outspeed Eternatus would it be to go for a Fire-type move or a Water-type move. So I'm thinking, obviously, it's not going to go for a Water-type move. And I'm thinking it's just going to go for a Dynamax Cannon to take me out. So I was thinking, I may as well go for Endure here if I can get that Steam Engine. Because if you get hit by a Fire-type move or a Water-type move, Steam Engine activates and gives you a +6 in speed, which is really, really nice. Even a very, very slow Pokemon like Colossal can be, extremely fast. All right, so we got a Eternatus here firing Saturn out of its Uranus, and it's going to take me out in one shot, obviously after the Endure. Now, there's nothing I could do here. There's no other Pokemon I want to swap into that, and I do have another Pokemon, interesting Pokemon to swap into this one as well. Now, you're probably thinking, what is the heaviest Pokemon, right? Can you guess what the heaviest Pokemon is? You're not allowed to cheat. Don't Google it. Don't watch further into the video. What do you think it is? Put it in the comment section of the video. And remember, it doesn't have to be, you know what, it's in Gen 8. I'm going to say it's in Gen 8. Obviously, we're doing a Gen 8 video. I sort of messed that question up. But what is it? Just tell me in the comment section, see if you get it right. Oh, look who it is. It could be the heaviest Pokemon. All right, that is Eternatus. Man, that was an amazing question today. Let's get a top comment about my amazing timing of the question of the day. So Eternatus is the heaviest Pokemon at 2,094.4 pounds. That's a lot in kilos, man. That's a lot. So this is a physical Eternatus set here, and I was hoping we would go for just a Dragon Pulse or maybe a Dynamax Cannon, but it's going to go for a Eterna Beam, and man, there's no way I'm going to be able to leave an Eterna Beam. The only physical move that Eternatus gets, which is Dragon Tail. I did an Eternatus sweep a couple of days ago, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. It's fully physical, and it's absolutely garbage. But more on those, a couple of these sets a little bit later. I'll be able to explain them because I got like just decimated. All right, so the last Pokemon I got is Zamazenta. So we got a +1 defense there straight away, and this is a critting, flinching set. Now, usually I'd run this one without its item, so I could get Iron Head instead of Behemoth Bash, but we're just going to be rolling on with the Bite here. So firstly, I want to go for the Focus Energy on Eterna Beam's recharge there, because it's basically a Hyper Beam, but it's Dragon. And we got that crits going, so I've got 2 stages of crit, so 2 out of 3 stages of crit, so I've got a good chance of getting a critical hit. Now, on top of that, I was thinking I might be able to get some good damage there with a Psychic Fangs if I get the crit, and the first crit one actually doesn't crit, which is really, really unfortunate. Now, we got the Mystical Fire, which we've seen earlier on. That's about a 3-hit KO from Eternatus there, and it's going to drop my special attack. Good thing I wasn't running a special one, right? And Eternatus has the Black Sludge as the item, which is kind of annoying too, so I'm going to have to get a crit on this because the Black Sludge could enable it to live another attack. So I was thinking about this for a while. Should I go for Bite and a couple of turns, try and get that, 30% flinch chance? I was like, nah, I've got to go for Psychic Fangs. I've got to eventually get one. I get one. It just hangs on a little bit of health then, which is really good for the Eternatus. And now it's going to get another Mystical Fire off against me. I know I can live that one pretty easily. I feel I probably would have just lived that critical hit as well. And that, my friends, is pretty much the first battle of the game. And you found out that the heaviest Pokemon in Generation 8 is Eternatus. When I look at Eternatus, right, I really don't... It doesn't really look like a heavy Pokemon when you think about it, right? It sort of looks like, insect-like, I guess you could say. It doesn't look heavy. Like, you'd probably think something like Stone Journer or... Copperaja would be the heaviest, but it's not. There's like such an interesting thing. You can also go into your Pokedex on your game and actually look at the exact weights of the Pokemon too. That's where I got these from. Anyway, I just got to crack open a cold one. Oh, hear that? No, it's just a drink, guys. It's a sparkling water, lemon, and lime. Wink, wink. So we got another battle here. This one was against Diego. Man, I almost messed his name up. Now, both these battles were done on my Twitch. If you want to check me out on Twitch, the link is in the description of the video. Twitch.tv/PIMPNITEYT. I love to see you there for the streams, people. We've been streaming almost every day now. So, what I was thinking about what to do the Ferrothorn, I was like, okay, let's go for a Heat Crash. That's 4 times super effective. They could swap, because this is the move that Copperaja can get a lot of time. And they did swap, and they paid the price for swapping there. I guess the only good thing about that was for them, they got Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage. That actually does a lot to you. Like, that did like a quarter of my health there. So Ferrothorn goes down, which is really good. Ferrothorn's always an annoying Pokemon to deal with if you don't have a Fire-type move or a Fighting-type move, right? It's just very, very, hard to wear it down. It's very stally, and it's got Leech Seed, Thunder Wave. It's just a general pain in the bum. Anyway, so I'm going to swap out my Copperaja here. I know this is going to go for a Fire-type move, probably Flare Blitz. That's what it usually runs. Unless they're running like a special one, which I didn't think they would. So I thought this would be great here to get a free Steam Engine from the Arcanine. It does absolutely minimal damage to me, which is really, really good. So Steam Engine is going to kick in. Those engines are firing, people, and we got a +6 in attack. Now I can see the recoil damage there was absolutely amazing on the Arcanine. So if it had a Focus Sash, well, it ain't got one no more. Literally, like every battle, well, probably not every battle, but lately every single battle session, someone's had a Focus Sash, right? And it's changed the course of the battle. So we got a Clefable coming in here. I'm going to go for Ancient Power on this thing. Yeah, Clefable's a very, very bulky Pokemon, right? So I know that I'm going to need some sort of boost to get around it. And does it have Magic Guard or does have Unaware? That's the thing. So go for another Ancient Power on the Clefable here. It's about a 5-hit KO, maybe 6. And now it's going to start setting up Cosmic Power. So usually when you see a Clefable going for Cosmic Power, setting up Cosmic Powers, you'll obviously think, well, it's probably Magic Guard is the best bet there, because with Unaware helps it get around boosted Pokemon, right? But the good thing about Magic Guard is you can make yourself extremely bulky, and say someone comes in, oh, I'll just use Toxic against you. It doesn't work because of Magic Guard, right? So obviously that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be a Magic Guard set. So my one way to get around a Cosmic Power bulky boosting Clefable, because this thing gets extremely bulky, right? It's got a lot of health already. And with Cosmic Power, it's such a great boosting move on defensive special defense, right? So I thought, I've got to get a critical hit against this thing, so I'm going to go for the Focus Energy and then go for Behemoth Bash. Normally, once again, I will say, I didn't really want to run Behemoth Bash. I want an Iron Head, but I had to run this form because obviously it was the heavier form, right? The other one's fairly light when you go down the Pokedex. Anyway, so we're going to Mystical Fire from the Clefable. It does a lot of damage, about a 3-hit KO. That's going to drop my special attack again. But once again, we're running a physical set. So the Clefable's going to have some leftover recovery. I've got 2 stages in critical hits now. So I was thinking, even if I don't crit this right, Behemoth Bash is going to do a lot of damage. This was max health. Sorry, not max health. Max speed and max attack. Now, I was running this one as Jolly over Adam because I wanted to get that extra speed so I could get the flinches right. So go for the Behemoth Bash here. Out of the Behemoth Bash and Zacian, I'd say I like Zacian's better than Behemoth Bash. I have to say I like that a little bit better. But I don't know, what do you guys think? What legendary signature move do you like better? Let me know in the comment section. All right, so the Clefable is down there. I've taken 2 Pokemon out, so I'm off to a pretty solid start, which is good there. So we got the Arcanine coming in here, and it's going to Intimidate, obviously. Now, the thing about that Intimidate, it didn't really matter too much because I've got a chance of critting. Now, if I do crit, I bypass that, that stat drop, and I get a bite crit, and I get a flinch. So that was absolute perfection there. So I achieved what this set basically does, just trolling the opponent and doing a lot of damage. So go for another bite here, hoping for like another crit and a flinch. Look how much that did. I got another crit there on the Arcanine. Arcanine is going to pop a berry, unfortunately, and which is going to be very annoying. So that's going to be I believe that's going to be a Citrus Berry, and it's going to get its health back, and it's going to have Willow Miss, and Willow Miss actually doesn't miss, and that's going to burn me. Now, that's a little bit of a problem there because I can't really get around the burn. So I'm going to need to get critical hits, and I'm going to need to get a lot of flinches. That's what this set is all about. Now, Behemoth Bash is going to do donkeys. I've got Bite, and I've got Psychic Fangs. And there's no point going for Psychic Fangs because I can't get a flinch from that. I've got to go for Bite to see if I can maybe take this Arcanine out with a flinch right and a crit. So I get a crit there, which is really nice, and I get another flinch, and that was absolutely crazy there. So the only way for this Arcanine, right, to get around this, crit and flinch trap would be to go first, but the only way for them to get around that would be to go for, like, extreme speed, which they are going to do. So they're going to try and get some damage on me so they don't get flinch right. So at least, they'll be able to get me before they go down. So go for another bite there, and the ironic part about that is I do not get a crit, and obviously I don't get a flinch either because I went second. So they must be a tiny bit salty because of that. Now I just can go for another bite and, take them out. That's pretty much what I was thinking here. And I was thinking, are they going to go for another extreme speed or not? I thought they would because they're going to go second, obviously. So another extreme speed from the Arcanine, really struggling with my bite, Zamazenta, and that one is going to go down to a crit. So it's not often you'd see an Arcanine, lose to a burnt Zamazenta using Bite, right? You'd never ever see that, only on PIMPNITE's channel, people. Alright, so the next Pokemon coming in is the Haxorus. Haxorus looks really cool, shiny. Always loved it shiny, and it's got the Mold Breaker. So I was thinking, there's a little bit of a problem about this matchup. This thing has, like, any way to boost its speed, like Dragon Dance, Sword Dance, anything like that. I could get set up on really easily here since I'm burned right. I don't have a lot of attacking presence. Then I was thinking, well, if I can manage to maybe flinch this thing a couple of turns, I may go down to the burn damage, and I can swap a fresh Pokemon in. So getting a nice little crit there on the Haxorus, and I get another flinch. There's no way this is happening. I've got so lucky so far. Just to reiterate, Bite has a 30% chance to flinch there, and I've got a 2 out of 3 chance to actually crit at the moment. Due to the, 3 stages of critting. So go for another bite there. That is not going to be a crit, and it is not going to be a flinch. And Haxorus goes for a Sword Dance. It's like, oh man, this is going to be really bad. I've got to basically get a Pokemon in to outspeed it and take it out of here. I mean, at least it didn't have anything to boost its speed. Now I'm starting to worry. And maybe if they go for a Dynamax and boost their speed with a flying type move, that could be also bad. So go for another bite there, getting another crit, which is really good, and another flinch. Man, I'm actually going to make a Zamazenta sweep, right? Would you guys like to see a Zamazenta sweep basically with this set? But what I'll do, right, is I'll have to maybe use the other form for Iron. I don't know. I'll figure something out there. I just want to make it like a really cool sweep because it's very luck dependent, and it's using a very weak move too. So Haxorus is going to pop another Sword Dance here, which is really, really bad. Like, this thing could easily take out all of my team very, very, swiftly. So go for another bite there in case it try and gets another Sword Dance up. I could have gone for Behemoth Bash, but I wouldn't have taken it out, and it's actually going to take me out with the burn there. And guess what? Haxorus actually gets flinch there too, which is great. So now we're going to bring in the Eternatus here. Now, this is Eternatus. I was hoping they'd have maybe Outrage over Dragon Claw. I had to kind of see this was an experiment. I had Dragon Tail, I had Cross Poison, and I had Payback. I was starting to think, well, Dragon Tail will take it out. Cross Poison, maybe not, and Giga Impact could miss. So I was starting to think, let's go for the Dragon Tail and, you know, take it out there. It's going to go for a Dragon Claw, so it doesn't have Outrage. I had to check that one, just depending on what Pokemon I had. If it did have Outrage, it would lock itself in. Then I could have brought in, like, some of my other Pokemon that could, you know, easily swap into it. So we're going to be going into Zacian here. Now, this is a special one. I've got Moonblast and Steel Beam on this one. Either one of these moves will actually do like a lot of damage to this. And before I could even, you know, make my move or think up a strategy, they went for the Dynamax. I was like, okay, I've got to take this out before. The bad thing about this is they've got +4 attack. If they can boost their speed somehow, I'm going to, like, that's it. The battle's over. Like, this thing is going to be absolutely, like, that's going to be super strong. Man, that is such a cool, like, Dynamax Pokemon. Those glowing red eyes and, you know, the shine looks great. All right, so I'm going to take that out with the Steel Beam. I went for the extra base power then over Moonblast, and Haxorus is going to go down. So I'm glad I buried that Pokemon. A very, very scary Pokemon. So we got 2 more Pokemon. Now the Doublade's going to come out. Now, I will say something here, right? In the battle preview, I seen the Doublade, right? Now I was thinking, oh my goodness, with this Doublade, right? If I just do any form of damage to it, it doesn't really matter because I've got my Copperaja, right, with Fissure, and the ability on this thing will be hopefully, you know, obviously no guard, so I can just go in for a Fissure and take it out in one shot. So the Doublade's going to go for the Sword Dance there. Obviously, it's going to go for a Shadow Sneak afterwards. That's usually what it does. And I thought, let's go into my Copperaja here. I'm running, you know, max health, max attack. Now, the reason I ran max attack on this one was due to my other moves. So I get the Quick Claw, but Doublade's going to get the Shadow Sneak and out-prioritize me, obviously. It does a fair whack of damage. However, it's got no guard, and Fissure is always going to land. So no guard, obviously, that affects, you know, the Pokemon on the field. So that's really, really good. Doublade is going to go down to a Fissure. Man, this Copperaja got me so many Fissure KOs. I'm not even joking. So the last Pokemon is the Inteleon. Inteleon is going to go for a Snipe Shot and take me out. I won't lie, I went for another Fissure there. Quick Claw. And Copperaja is going to go down. So then I was thinking, okay, I've got my Stone Journal left, which is going to get absolutely shreked. I've got to go into my Colossal, and I've got to go for the Endure right, and then get the Steam Engine to outpace this Inteleon. Inteleon's a very fast Pokemon. Then I'll start thinking maybe it's got a priority move like Sucker Punch. It might be able to get around me on 1 health. But at the end, I had nothing to lose, right? So go for that Endure there, hoping they'll hit me with a Water type move. The bait is out, people. I mean, they really have to go for it. And now the Snipe Shot is going to be hitting me. Now that's going to activate my Steam Engine and give me a weakness policy too. And I've got like a, you know, a Stab Ancient Power, which will, you know, land very, very hard against it. So I've got that Steam Engine and I've got the weakness policy activating. Now my last Pokemon is Stone Journey. It is Choice Scarf. The only thing I was worried about is, okay, I might be able to outspeed it, right? But my strongest move, like Stone Edge, could miss. So that's, you know, that's something definitely to think about there. However, it never came to that. I did take the Inteleon out with the Ancient Power, and that is the game. Man, a couple of really brilliant games there. Very, very fun. All right, people, check out the bonus battle, and I'll catch you tomorrow sometime. Peace.